Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, I wanted to, excuse me, I wanted to do something to where I know you haven't been seeing a whole lot of stuff. Now, that's kind of the point that makes everybody like me look like, well, where you get you all that? Well, like I keep telling people all the time, you won't hear it all in one complete story. You have to I watch everything from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, many places on YouTube. 90% of my information I get from YouTube, and I tell y'all about that. And that's everything from the Liberal Hive Mind, Mark Dice, and uh, the Sean Ryan Show, and stuff like that. Because when you start looking into stuff like that, it sets up an algorithm and starts pulling more of that kind of stuff in. You know what I mean? And they'll try to interrupt it a little bit, but all you got to do is stay on it, and it constantly keeps pulling more and more and more stuff in. Now, me, like I said, I wanted to be a SEAL. That's the reason why I think a little bit different than most people. So it's things like that to where I look at different all kinds of programming, not only just the news, but I've always been a history buff from long time ago too. So that's one thing it kind of plays into why I know so much. I've been doing it for all my life. I'm over 55 years old, and you know, I was learning stuff back when they didn't bullshit us. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I try to get through to folks is that the truth is always stranger than fiction. And any movie that you've ever seen, no matter how they put a Hollywood twist on it, you need to think somewhere, somehow, some way it's happened to somebody around the world. You know what I mean? Like the Forrest Gump movie. Okay, that wasn't just all one guy, but there was different parts in people's lives and stuff, yada yada. And yeah, well they'll say it was from it, but why are we just hearing about it now? But that's one of the deals that I try to uh, relay to folks is that I can't tell you 40 something years of information. I would chat you up for days and days and days. Okay, so I mean, I was young enough to where I lived through the Cuban Missile Crisis and all that shit, and the very end of Vietnam and everything. Yeah, I still remember that. So the biggest thing, and even from everything that I've known and seen back then, I'm seeing it repeat itself. Howard Cronkite, which he was the big wig in all the news networks and stuff, but he went over to Vietnam, broadcasting everything to the American people to get viewers. Then he comes back and saying that the war will end in a stalemate. So he sits there and just tells the American people everything that our boys are fighting and dying for was for nothing. Yeah. Then eventually they gave up because the black hats, the warmongering kind of people in our government, it's costing too much money, and we they weren't able to stem the tide of the communism. That's what it was for. Vietnam didn't do nothing but still nothing but produce rice. That's all they got. That's all they do. But they produce a lot of rice for around the world. See what I mean? So does China. But But that's the kind of deal to where everything, the propaganda, is really, really, really so bad right now because Obama made it legal for our news networks to propagandize their news and even lie to us. Sure did. And I almost voted for Obama too. Sure did. I thought, yeah, he might be the one. Then I got to doing some more research and finding out who he's, how this and that and the other and who he's connected. I was like, hey, wait a minute. This son of a bitch is crooked as the day is long. Sure did. Found out about how George Soros was back behind him 100%. Gave him a blank check. Did you know that? You realize how Obama never did any fundraising when he was running for president? Both terms. He never did any fundraising. He didn't have to. He had a rich old white guy named George Soros with a blank check behind him. And he did whatever he wanted. Yep. So you see how, let me back up a little bit. That's kind of how things work around because the JFK thing, JFK went down in his plane. Hillary took his place on his seat that he was supposed to get. I believe it was in the Senate. Yeah, Hillary got that. And then now, just Google the Clinton body bags. Kind of sets things in motion. So I mean, I could chat you up for days. I could just tell you all different kind of hints and points and yada yada. And then people talk about the cults and all. And I'm like, well, you do know that the Nazis were Democrats, right? Because the Nazis were real, real big into the occultist crap. They were. If you know anything about it, the whole goddamn thing was set and situated around symbols and symbolism and power and projection and all that. Yep. Joseph Goebbels, Minister of Propaganda, Nazi Party 1939. Always accuse the other side of that which you are guilty of. But that is still in the book that Karl Marx put out about communism and all. See what I mean? The crap I could tell you, I could just chat you up for days and just yada, yada, yada. Bam, about all the shit that I know. And everybody that I know that know the same thing I do, everybody's just saying we're just watching history repeat itself. To a certain extent, but now we know what it is. We're fighting against the warmongers and all that stuff. Yeah. So we'll go through some bumps and some humps. But it just depends on the ones that are buckled down, the ones that have their shit together. They should be okay. Save some of your money. Stop buying Cokes and eating out and all that shit. Keep at least 20, 30, 40 bucks cash money in your pocket at all times. And if you can do that, well, there's your start. You can prove yourself that you can put money away and forget it. Trust me, I know. I was just looking through some stuff and found a couple of $100 that I stashed. Forgot all about it. A couple of hundred. Actually, more than a couple of hundred. But yeah. So you see what I mean? If you don't put that much precedence on money, you'll do a lot better. The truth is coming out little bit by little bit, so y'all hang tight. Do what you can for yourself as soon as you can. We'll be all right, I think. I'm hoping that things don't escalate. What you're seeing on the news with the ships off of the coast of the Aleutian Islands, that's just a show of force. Okay, that is just a show of force. That's all that is. And it's showing them, showing the cabal that they've they've got them checkmated. That's what that is. Those ships showing up are checkmating the cabal. So yeah, still getting very interesting, y'all. Get your money out of the bank. Keep your tank in your cars full. Get B12 Chem Tool to put in your tanks. I've been using them for years. It's B12 Chem Tool. Just go into your auto parts store, AutoZone, O'Reilly, they have it. Put a bottle of that in there when you fill your tank up. It will help keep all the stuff in your motor and fuel injector, fuel pump, stuff like that. Keep the water out of your tank and things of that nature. Yeah, I know a thing or two about cars too. But that's what I'm telling y'all, my friends. I could chat you up for days. These things are happening and it's all a show. They've been caught. Things are coming to a wrap up on stuff. You understand? The Jack Smith, all that crap against Trump is just for show. Nothing will come out of it. So here's something else. Go look at the wall of presidents. See who's the last president on there. And whose picture's missing. Yeah. Didn't tell me I'm full of shit. I hope I'm wrong, my friends, about a lot of this, but they are doing everything they can, from our fertilizer to chemical plants, food processing plants. I've seen on the news that we just had a explosion at a Sherwin-Williams plant in Garland, Texas. And I'm not too far from there. I've even worked at that plant. Sure have. I know where it's at exactly. I don't know what it all means, but I can guarantee you this. They are doing whatever they can to make it as bad as they can. And the ones that don't have their shit together are the ones that's going to cause the biggest havoc. You see the stuff that's going on in New York, and that's just over a PlayStation and thousands of illegals that they brought here that are sleeping on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? What do you think it's going to be like when their bellies start grumbling? Yeah. You need to start thinking about some stuff. I've got some tactics and all that I could probably help you out with, and it might work. It could keep some people from messing around, and it's just some deterrence. But I want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all very much. D's Garage USA at gmail.com. I'm working on the t-shirt deal, getting everybody together. Thinking I'm gonna let one of my grandkids draw a name, pick a name. So get that done. And I've got some other things that I want to do. But TikTok is not making it easy for me, so I'm trying to do a little bit longer videos over here on the YouTube to where maybe I can disclose a little bit more information, a little bit more down to the point. I've been pushing it. TikTok, they have been hitting me left and right. And I am literally trying to walk on that edge to where I can tell y'all as much as I know, but they'll stay off of me. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to get too into it so they'll stay off me. But I appreciate y'all. D'sGarageUSA@gmail.com. It's ain't over by a long shot, y'all. It ain't over by a long shot. God bless the United States of America. Screw you commies. You know the drill. We're coming for you. Later, y'all.